let's talk about, or go over some, we got some new stuff today, and a new chord and some more finger exercising stuff. So we're gonna just jump right into it. So the tremolo, what we were doing was just the right hand, which was with, I got my metronome here, 2, 3, 4, so you got that. So doing this one with the open strings. I'm doing this at 80. You could do whatever tempo you want. So that was there at 80. So what we're going to go to now, let's see if I can pull up the newest and latest and greatest. You guys already have that. So let's see. So this will show it. And maybe I got to get rid of the other one. Oh, that's not it. Maybe I'll put my glasses on, I might be able to see it. Hey, there we go. All right, so if you guys could find this one here, this PDF. So this is basically, instead of just playing the open strings, gives us a pattern to play. This is called a pentatonic pattern. And some of you may know it, you may have heard of it. It's just a 5-note scale. Our regular scales are typically, well, I would say 7-note scales. There's other scales that might be 8. Anyways, there's less. But anyway, this is a pentatonic. It's pretty common for rock and blues. And so anyways, instead of just playing open string, that gets a little boring after a while, we can start working on a pattern. So let me slow this down to, I think we'll go to 70. I'm trying to get on my light. Okay, so at 70, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play each of these notes 4 times. And you can see the fingering on there, and then up above is a tablature. We can talk about some of the tablet stuff later. And all right, so here we go. I'm going to 4 times on each string. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go. Stretch out there. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that was the new tremolo with the pentatonic. And so if you're wondering about the tablature up above there, pretty much you got 6 lines, which is each of the strings on the guitar. So the big string is going to be on the bottom, so everything's in reverse. Just like the diagram there, it's like you're looking at the guitar. Let's see if I can turn it around, you can see it. So it's like you're looking at the guitar here, and the big string's on the bottom, and let's see if I can get this pick out of the way. So the big string's on the bottom, and that's exactly how you're looking at it. And then, so you're going from big string, and then you go to the small string, the high string. So it's going from low to high. So think in terms of pitch. When you're looking at this, think in terms of, is it low or is it high? And then you're going to go from the low, big string to the smaller string, the high string. So and so then the numbers are the frets. So you can see there's 5, there's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you got 4 of the 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you go to the next string and do 4 on each of those. So that's all the numbers are just there's the 5th fret, and the numbers are right on the string. So anyhow, so if you never looked at tablature or just like thought it was some sort of gobbledygook, it's an easier form of reading, and it's something that is instead of having to learn the notes and all that, the notations, which, some of us had to do that probably for piano or maybe violin or cello or other instruments, wind instruments, stuff like that. So this is just kind of an easier way to learn, to kind of do some reading, but not actually have to learn to read. Because if we had to learn to read, it'd take a while, then we'd have to figure out what all these notes are, and anyhow. So you could see the notations in there too with this. I think, no, maybe not. Ignore that. So the notation is not in there. We'll you can see some of the notation and some other things in the future. Anyhow, so if you have any questions, you could send me a note or leave a message in the chat room. Chat. Anyways, okay. So that's basically the new right hand tremolo. So, and then let me go to the next. Well, we're gonna go to. So now quasichromatic. So I know last week with quasichromatic, we were going nice and slow because it's a lot of coordination we're trying to put together. Trying to put together our right hand with our left hand and just like, I don't know, playing piano, playing two different parts. It's not so easy. So, but with some practice and repetition, it becomes just a regular, automatic. It just becomes muscle memory. That's really the main thing what we're getting is muscle memory. So keep working on that. So let's do the quasichromatic. We did, I think we went down and back up. And so I'll go through that again too, in case you missed it. So it's this. So you're going 1, and I'm just going all down here. Still at 40. If that's too fast, you could always slow down. It's fine. I wouldn't say go to like 30. 30's kind of difficult to play that slow. At least for me, I have a hard time playing that slow. So from last week when we got to the end here, what we did is we went to the 5th fret and then we went backwards. This is where it gets challenging. So we have to remember to move our arm every time we change strings. That's the struggle for most of us, is to remember, move my arm. So you gotta tell yourself, move your arm, every time change strings, move your arm. So eventually it just becomes a habit, you don't think about it. Just the muscle goes and moves the arm. Then we get to the end. Then you can go up and start all over again. All right, so that was, let me get my thing here. That was the quasichromatic. And so now what we're gonna do is alternate pick. I think that was the new one. Let me look. Yes, alternate pick. All right, so at the same tempo, this gets challenging, a little bit more difficult, but we're doing the same thing, except now we're gonna alternate pick. We're gonna go down, up with our pick. So down, up, 3, 4. So we go down, up, and then down. And I'm putting my fingers right next to the frets. That way I don't have to press so hard. And we don't always get it there exact, but try to let it ring out as long as possible. I know that's not easy. A lot of times our fingers want to come off too early. So what we're training our fingers is to kind of do these things they've never done in their lives. It's difficult stuff. But eventually with repetition, it becomes second nature. So here I'm going up 1 and down, pick, up, down, up. Same thing again. Remember to move your arm when you change strings. And then down. Up, down, up. Move your arm, down, up, down, up. Move your arm, down, up, down, up. And then you go up and start all over again. So I just went up 1 fret. So just like I'm doing on the 1st fret, I do now on the 3rd fret. And what you can do, you can just keep on climbing on this thing. Take it up as far as you like. You don't have to stop when you get to the end there. Then when I go up 1 fret and pick down and go back. Same thing on 2nd string. third string, move your arm, kind of watch. See how I move my arm? Just slightly, it's not much. Just a string distance, really. And I move my arm. And I'm not moving my wrist, except when I pick the string. Move my arm. And it starts all over again. So you can just keep on going. I'm going to stop. So a little bit with the right hand is, I would say is you want to pick and just use your wrist, so you're down, up. And that's what the other exercise is. You're working on just the right hand. And then you want to continue that when you're playing this. You don't want to change. Basically, and then every time you change the string, your whole arm moves. You don't want to go, I know you can do that, like what I'm doing here. I'm just leaving my, so I left my hand there and I just kind of turn my wrist to change. So you don't want to do that. You want to move your arm. The reason being is you could hear some other strings kind of ringing out, harmonics, and so if I play certain notes, especially if I play this, let me see, if I play this note, you can really hear it ring out. And I can't mute the string out if I'm going like this to play that note. So if I move my arm, then I'm muting that string out. So just, yeah, just keep working on it slow. Don't worry about speed yet. We won't do anything faster for a little while. You just want to kind of get comfortable. Especially now we're adding the alternate pick into the mix. So alternate pick, moving and all that. There's a lot going on. So you want to just make sure you're getting everything going. Moving your arm to change strings, down, use your wrist to change. There's still other elements on how you hold the pick. And so, I tell everyone to choke up on a single note so you have better control. It's kind of like a baseball bat. If you get a big, super huge baseball bat, you choke up so you have better control. Same thing with the pick is you choke up. So I get closer to the tip so I have better control. Anyhow, so there's a lot going on here, and so you just keep working on it, and gradually it'll get there. It's just it's repetition. Let me see what I got here with some chords. All right, so last week I'll go over last week with chords, and let me get to my chords. That's the new chords? So I have to go maybe up here. No, too far. That's the first week. Here we go. All right, so I'll go over these real quick. And, Louie, Louie, again, it goes. So there's Louie, Louie. It is what it is. It's just something to really just switch those chords back and forth, and that's the main reason for these two songs at the first 2 weeks. And then the strum pattern that we do. Let's see, we got the strum pattern with metronome. Let's see. I don't really care about speed, but we just say let's say 50. The goal is to get. I'm gonna go 60. The goal is to get it to 80. If you can play at 80, then you're pretty good. You pretty well got it. All right, so here. I go to D, and the E minor, and then the E. All right, I'm sure there's a name or something that's called that when you go from E minor to E major. You go from minor to a major, same root. Or maybe it's major to a minor. Anyways, there's a term for it. All right, so that was last week. So let's see if I could figure out how to close this one up. Yeah, I did. All right, and then this week, no, that's not it. No. Okay, let's find it. I know I had it up earlier. Maybe I didn't put it in here. Oh, hey, there we go. There we are. Okay, No, we did already. Okay, so the new chord, A minor, I'm sure everyone saw that this morning, or sorry I didn't send it out earlier. I usually send it out the night before, but I forgot about it. And then this morning I woke up and was like, oh yeah, I gotta send that out to everyone. So let me get my little cheat sheet over here. All right, so we got, yeah, we're still got A, D, and E. But we're not playing A major, we're just doing D and E, A minor and E minor. All right, so let me slow this down to 50, because there's no point of playing it too fast, especially on a new chord. And actually, let me go to 40, because 40 is probably a good spot to start with the chord. If it's too fast, then go 35 or something like that. 4, here we go. So down, up, down, down, down. E minor. And D. And E. Okay, so that was at 40. And I have a little note there, up strum. Didn't talk about this last time, but when you do the up strum, you want to rotate your wrist inward. And what I do is I'm letting more of the pick stick out because I want more of the pick on the strings. So when I'm strumming down, I'm pointing my pick towards me, and then when I go up, I rotate my wrist inward. That way my pick will slide off the strings much easier, as opposed to if I kept it perpendicular with the strings, then there's a good chance I'm gonna skip and miss some strings. So it's just better to rotate inward to get that up strum. So let's do that again. I'm gonna do it a little bit faster. Actually, let me do it at 60. And just so you can hear it, and you can always go back and watch the video. So here we go. 2, 3, 4. So wrong chords. Sorry. 4. One more time. All right, so that was at 60. And again, our goal is to get it close to 80. If you get that by next week, next Thursday or something like that, that's pretty good. It means you're doing the things that you should be doing. One thing I didn't mention is I just noticed there's a shortcut. So I like shortcuts, but our fingers sometimes don't want to do these shortcuts. So when you go from A minor to E minor, if you can keep that middle finger there, there's your shortcut. But our middle finger, most of the time, actually all our fingers want to just go like that when we change chords. So you want to try to keep that middle finger there. I know that's like, the finger doesn't want to do that, it wants to move. But again, this is training your muscle memory. Your muscles, if you train them to not go like that, and it'll save you time in changing chords. And is there anything else? No. Yeah, and we had we talked about the shortcut from D to E, which is really you just keep that first finger there. So you got your D, and you slide back. Yeah, and still continue to switch the chords back and forth. So E minor, or A minor to E minor, A minor, E minor, A minor, E minor. And that'll help you get that middle finger to stay there. You want to keep playing it over and over. Repetition is going to make it happen. I'm sure even after a couple weeks now, if you're just starting out from nothing, you probably already noticed. I was like, hey, my fingers are starting to kind of move and do some stuff, which is what's supposed to happen. So just train the muscles and do these things they've never done before, and and then you make some sweet music. So, and let's see, I think if there's anything else to cover, I think I went over the, hit the PDFs. So if that is the case, this is a pretty quick lesson, and really it's just a matter of you just putting in the time with the metronome. If you have any questions about metronomes, let me know. I could help with recommendation on what, there's the one I'm using right here is a basic one. It's called I think I showed it last time. It's a Tempo. It's a free app, and it does everything I need it to do. It's great. So if you don't have one of those, get one. And then let me see if I can pull this one up. And that's not it. Where did I put you? That one. Okay, so the practice schedule. The practice schedule, I don't know if you guys have been trying that out, but this is the best way to get better. And, I was listening to a podcast from a teacher that I had many years ago, and he was saying, especially for most of us adults, is, you don't have like 8 hours a day to play. I mean, we all have jobs, we have kids to take care of, some of us. So your best bet with the practice schedule is to, hey, let's see if I can get, maybe 10 minutes this day. And if I could do that consistently 5 to 6 days a week, I'll be progressing and moving along. And that's what you want to be doing, is moving along a little bit. Guitar, you can't really cram in. That's, say if you don't practice all week, you say, well, I'm going to practice my day off, Saturday or something like that, or Sunday. I'm going to practice for 3 hours and catch up. Well, it doesn't quite work. You can't really cram in music. I've tried that, and I could do other subjects in school, but music, it just never worked out. So you're better off just to practice, even if you only got a few minutes, and as opposed to well, I don't have any time at all, so I'm not going to do any practice. If you have your guitar sitting around somewhere, and just pick it up, strum some of the chords, maybe try alternate picking. Even if you don't have the metronome, it's better than nothing. And that's why I tell everyone, it's just, I know sometimes we want to sit down and have our time, and of course, it's, as an adult, it's hard sometimes if we have kids around or other people around that, then they want our time, and you just have to make the time to do that. Say, hey, give me 15 minutes, I got to practice, and then once I'm done with 15 minutes, then you got me. So, work on getting that practice in, because that's going to make the difference. And don't feel terrible. It's like, I didn't get my practice in this week, and you can't beat yourself up over this, because it's not worth it. And really, the reason why you're doing this anyways is to have fun and enjoy another instrument, guitar or any instrument. It's just, music is just it's just a fun way to express ourselves. And eventually I hope to hear about playing some songs and maybe entertaining some friends by playing some songs and singing, especially once we get out of this crazy thing that we're going on right now. So anyhow, well, I think that's it for me, and I hope you like some of I made some cool intro music, and I'll play it again as we head on out of here.